Like and subscribe. Please. I would want to hear the voice say, skididdle skididdle your brain is a noodle. Also such dank memes. Use the hashtag BrainyComment to be featured in the next episode. Sometimes people use respect to mean treating someone like a person, and sometimes they use respect to mean treating someone like an authority, and sometimes people who are used to being treated like an authority say, if you won't respect me I won't respect you, and they mean, if you won't treat me like an authority I won't treat you like a person, and they think they are being fair but they aren't, and it's not okay. This is so well put I'm stunned. Hate how they forced Bugs Bunny into anti-weed propaganda in the 90s, as if Bugs Bunny wouldn't love smoking weed. To be perfectly fair, Bugs Bunny would also love taking money for starring in anti-weed propaganda and then using said money to buy weed. Help I read that as anti-weed propaganda. I used to work in a little market and we had to cut blocks of cheese in approximately 1 pound cubes. To this day, 1 pound equals 1 block of feta cheese. In my head, my gym trainer was talking about guys lifting up to 1000 lbs. That's a lot of cheese, I said. What? A teleporting cat. It's just a regular house cat, but it appears in random places when you could have sworn you just saw it somewhere else. That's just a cat. Literally any cat. Oh my, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm a mysterious old man. Glad we made that clear. Basic Anin girl, sigh, I'm not as pretty as my sister. Her sister has the exact same face and body. Her sister has the exact same face and body but she's got huge badankadanks. I mean huge, hooper propadas. Just say boobs you dumb hole. Wampedum bertha longus. I love my mother dearly but ability wise she frightens me. BC not only can she find 24 leaf clovers within the span of like 2 minutes everywhere, she can also write her name W/ both hands on a dry erase board or W/ at the exact same time and have both be a mirror image of one another. To add to this, I was making breakfast this morning and I hear, hey Milo, look who came to say hello, and, expecting like, a moth or a frog or something of that nature, I turn and she's holding a snake. Yeah Ma's a witch, be nice to her. Witnesses say they asked Britney why she shaved her head and her response was, I'm tired of plugging things into it, I'm tired of people touching me. I can never not reblog this. T-Pain, that was the most beautiful thing in the world. Do you know why she was shaving her head? Because it was so important to other people. She is like, listen, don't touch my hair anymore. Stop touching my hair. People were like, we've got to make your hair before you go outside. You can't leave. She went. Now I don't have hair. What you going to do? The older I get the more her breakdown seems less unbalanced and more completely understandable. It's because other people told you she was unbalanced at a point in your life when you didn't have the life experience or wisdom to understand otherwise. When you email your professor at 2 AM and they respond within a minute. Once in college, at 3 AM, I couldn't get my printer to print out my assignment that was due at 9 AM. So I emailed my professor with, I'm sleeping beauty and someday my prints will come. In the meantime here is an electronic copy. And she emailed me back in like 5 minutes, telling me she'd laughed so hard she startled her dog awake. My 4-year-old cousin is freaking out because we went to a restaurant and the forks had 3 prongs instead of 4. Every time someone said the word fork, she said, no it's a freak. I can't wait for this kid to be old enough to use Tumblr. Zoom class ends. Me who has not done any work the entire time and treated it like a podcast. Free worst experience of my effing life. Stripper in Clearwater, showing the judge that her bikini briefs were too large to expose her vagina to the undercover cops that arrested her. The case was dismissed. I almost never reblog, but I had to for this. Rich people are like so easily convinced at ghosts. I remember growing up, it was near this vacant lot, and whenever I broke a toy, instead of going to face the wrath of my mother, I would effing bury it in that lot. And then sure enough, some dude tried to develop the land and found a ton of buried rotten dolls and told everyone it was haunted. It's been over a decade and that lot is still vacant. You single-handedly tanked the value of someone's prime real estate, and that makes me happy. As soon as I read this, I immediately started thinking of ways to do this on purpose to get cheap land, and I was 5 posts down my dash before I realized I was becoming Scooby-Doo Villain. It still f's me up that Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, was the governor of California from 2003 to 2011, wrote 9+ books, has an active Reddit account, and married JFK's niece. Doctors describe his condition as stable but homosexual. Me, how bad is it, doc? Give it to me straight. I'm afraid I can't do that. Hey gang, I'm ordering $14 worth of soda and nothing else from my local Domino's. I'm thirsty. He better not effing have. Your order is in the oven. Majiki Whis, put your order in the oven at 2:47 p.m. Just saw the words Catboy, Catgirl, and non-binary, and it took several years off of my life expectancy. I'd rather be called a slur. I'm crying because in church one of the lines of a hymn was, "Very God," and this girl behind me whispered, "Such Christianity." I can't stop laughing. Wow. Every time someone starts telling that they want to supplement their body with computer parts, I'm just like, okay great, but don't cry to me when your memories of loved ones or your ability to run are locked behind paywalls. You did it. You broke cyberpunk down to its bare essentials. Me, aged 14, reading Tolkien. Hobbits are considered children until they are 30. How funky. Fantasy world building. This is so different from us humans. Me, aged 25. Oh, I get it now. J.R.R. Tolkien looking upon a quad of Oxford postgraduate students. Children. All of them. Children. The 11th of March. COVID-19 pandemic. The World Health Organization declares the COVID-19 outbreak a pandemic 35. Happy Plugiversary. Where do you want to be in 10 years? Alarm. No alarms. This is a real dream. One time this girl really hated me and wanted to ruin my reputation or something, so one day I was talking to a boy and she came up and really obnoxiously said, "You know she has a crush on you, right?" And he was like, "Man, I hope so, or else this is gonna get really awkward." She effing told my boyfriend that I liked him. Antarctic-centric worldview. Map of the world when the emperor penguins finally live up to their name. Do women hate women? A man says that they do, but 3 women say not. The New York Times, New York, January 3rd, 1897. History in a nutshell. What do women think about women? We asked a man. My dad gave me a USB drive with hundreds of pictures he has taken since the 70s. This picture of the snuggle bear playing Uno is undoubtedly the best picture he has ever taken. Pros and cons of making things. Pro. Thing. Con. Make. You summed up the struggle of all creators ever so nicely. What's the difference between outlaws and in-laws? Outlaws are wanted. Come on, reblog this. My grandma told me this joke and was convinced she was going to be famous on Tumblr for it. Every time my mom and grandma get into an argument, my grandma says, "Excuse me Pamela, I'm famous on the Tumblr."